It's been my experience that in recording my thoughts, they become easier to explain. Yet I'm not quite sure how to explain this, though. Listen, I know that Slenderman is a lie, a totally made up 100% lie, but this story, I tell you, is 100% true, and if not, then I'll burn in hell or worse. About 5 months ago, I found out about Slenderman on the internet. It seemed amusing and funny, but I'm a horror guy, and it didn't faze me like many things don't. But that night I woke up to my cat wanting to be let out of the house. He was a stray I rescued when he was a kitten, and I never house trained him, so when I opened the door he started to walk out. All of a sudden he froze as if he was hit by some kind of freeze ray. As I walked into my porch to see if he was hurt, I glanced in the direction he was looking at. He was staring at this group of trees along a ditch a few yards away from my house. I saw nothing wrong, at first, but then I noticed that something wasn't quite right. It might have been that there were more trees than usual, or some limbs that had been cut off in certain areas, but I could vaguely make out a humanoid shape among the trees. And it was like a sort of entrance, like I didn't want to move, in trance. Like I didn't want to move, but then a car passed and I gathered my senses, and so apparently did my cat, because he scurried off into the lawn and did his business and went back in the house. I looked back again, there was no shape in the trees. And that was the only event that happened for about 2 weeks, and I had well forgotten about it until I had my first dream. In my dream I was camping with some people I didn't know and was having a time of my life. And then when I went to go get some marshmallow sticks from some nearby trees, the entire mood changed. All of a sudden, the people had the same expression as my cat had that one night, and they were silently murmuring to me not to get any closer, like as if they had made the same mistake and forever regretted it. It was then that there was only one tree. At least I think it was a tree, since it had the same general shape. And the same thing is that all the branches had no leaves in there. They were moving as if the wind was blowing, but somehow slower. Then my alarm rang and I woke up. What happened next has still haunting me to this day. I had scratches all over my chest, like someone had thought my chest was covered in dead leaves and attacked me with a rake. And then I looked in the mirror and realized they made a kind of shape at one point near the top, like a circle that was pointing at the bottom. I blame my cat for the artwork on my body, seeing that's how I lived alone at the time, but even then I knew something else had done it. And somewhere in the back of my mind I knew that this was just the beginning. And for the next month or so I had similar dreams, but no new scratches or anything noticeable. And I went home for Christmas, and it was very nice. One night, a few days before Christmas, I woke up to the sound of my little brother screaming. As my eyes opened, I was filled with concern, but also something else, like whatever was happening should be, or there was no reason to try to stop it, like I should just close my eyes and go back to sleep. But then he started screaming louder. The spell that was on me was broken, and I jumped out of bed and ran down the hall to my brother's room. Right before I opened the door, he stopped, and I heard a voice. Not just a voice, a sound. I couldn't make any words out, but I understood it perfectly. It was a warning of what's coming next, as if it was a small sample. As I slowly opened my brother's door, 3 things struck me. My brother's bed was empty, the windows were open, and there was a piece of cloth on the floor in front of me, like a piece of a black suit. Right then, my mother woke up and approached me. I asked where my brother was, and she said that he was staying the night at a friend's. I started to get concerned, and so I posted on several forums and got an unusual "you're overreacting" reply, so I tried to contact the original poster, the man who made up Slenderman. Got no avail, as he did not reply to any of my emails. so I hit a dead end. One night sometime later in mid-January, I was up late because I couldn't bring myself to sleep. Whenever all of a sudden I heard a noise in my front door, like a stick being blown against the wind. So I stepped into my living room and all of a sudden I was frozen, like I really couldn't move. And then I saw him for the first time. He slowly stepped out from the kitchen. He wore a black suit and tie. He was so skinny, I swear. He was just bone under there, his face. There was nothing, like nothing. But it somehow moved like 1,000 bees. 1,000 very tired, very organized bees. And the sound thing, also like bees, but more intense and focused, not just random. He spoke not a word, and silence slowly, calmly, controllingly walked towards me, and all of a sudden my spell was broken from fear, and I burst out from my front door. I ran for what seemed like hours, always swearing that he was right behind me. I finally reached my friends and called 911, telling them my house had been broken into. When they arrived, they said there was no sign of forced entry, but that the door had been locked behind me and my keys were inside. My friend said I could stay at his place, and I did for a few weeks. Finally, he was able to get the story out of me. He said that I should just get a psyche evaluation, which I calmly rejected too, but after some coaxing, I finally agreed and went to the hospital. The doctor's results came in, paranoid schizophrenia. That's what they told me. I was given a set of medication, moved out of the place, and found a new one. It's been a month and a half. Nothing's happened. But at night, just before I turn the light off to sleep, I feel him again. And in the morning, that split second after you wake up before you open your eyes, I know he's there. I wonder if he'll ever go away.